Welcome to My Therapy Room, the podcast that delves into the captivating realm of mental health psychology and education. I'm Ettienne-Murphy, your host, and together we'll embark on a voyage of self-discovery, personal growth, and enlightenment. So grab a cup of coffee or tea and join us in this engaging conversation. Feel free to comment and share your own stories as we explore the depths of these important topics. An educational psychologist is a professional who applies psychological principles and theories to understand and improve the learning and development of individuals within an educational setting. They work with students, teachers, parents, and other professionals to identify and address various learning and behavioral challenges. Educational psychologists may assess and diagnose learning disabilities, design and implement intervention strategies, provide counseling and support, and collaborate with schools to create inclusive and effective learning environments. Their goal is to enhance academic achievement, social-emotional well-being, and overall educational outcomes for students. The role of an educational psychologist in improving learning and development within an educational setting is multifaceted. Here are some key aspects of their role. 1. Assessment and diagnosis. Educational psychologists conduct comprehensive assessments to identify learning difficulties, developmental delays, and emotional or behavioral challenges. They use various assessment tools and techniques to gather information about a student's strengths, weaknesses, and individual needs. 2. Intervention and support. Based on the assessment results, educational psychologists develop and implement targeted intervention strategies to address the specific needs of students. They may provide individual or group counselling, social skills training, academic support, and behaviour management techniques to help students overcome learning barriers. 3. Collaboration and consultation. Educational psychologists collaborate with teachers, parents, and other professionals to develop and implement appropriate strategies and interventions. They provide consultation and guidance on creating inclusive learning environments, differentiating instruction, and implementing evidence-based practices to support student learning and development. 4. Special education planning. Educational psychologists play a crucial role in the development of individualized education plans, IEPs, for students with special educational needs. They contribute to the assessment and identification process, provide recommendations for appropriate accommodations and modifications, and monitor the progress of students with disabilities. 5. Research and evaluation. Educational psychologists contribute to the advancement of knowledge in the field by conducting research and evaluation studies. They explore effective teaching and learning strategies, assess the impact of interventions, and contribute to evidence-based practices in education. Overall, educational psychologists aim to improve learning and development by understanding individual differences, addressing barriers to learning, promoting positive mental health, and fostering inclusive and supportive educational environments. Educational psychologists use a variety of tools and techniques to gather information about students' cognitive abilities, academic skills, social-emotional development, and behaviour. Here are some commonly used tools and techniques. 1. Assessments and tests. Educational psychologists administer standardized assessments and tests to measure cognitive abilities, such as intelligence tests, for example, Wechsler Intelligence Scale for children, and academic achievement tests, for example, Woodcock-Johnson tests of achievement. These assessments provide quantitative data about students' cognitive functioning and academic skills. 2. Interviews. Educational psychologists conduct interviews with students, parents, teachers, and other relevant individuals to gather qualitative information. These interviews provide insights into students' social-emotional development, behaviour, and learning experiences. Structured interviews, semi-structured interviews, and clinical interviews are commonly used. 3. Observations. Educational psychologists observe students in various settings, such as classrooms, playgrounds, and social interactions, to gather information about their behaviour, social skills, and emotional well-being. Observations can be conducted using structured observation protocols or through naturalistic observations. 4. Behaviour rating scales. Educational psychologists use behaviour rating scales completed by teachers, parents, or the students themselves to gather information about behaviour and emotional functioning. These scales provide standardized measures of specific behaviors, such as the Strengths and Difficulties Questionnaire, SDQ, or the Behavior Assessment System for Children, BASC. 5. Questionnaires and surveys. Educational psychologists may administer questionnaires and surveys to gather information about students' attitudes, motivation, self-perception, and social skills. These self-report measures can provide valuable insights into students' social-emotional development and psychological well-being. 6. Cognitive and neuropsychological assessments. Educational psychologists may use specific assessments to evaluate cognitive processes, executive functions, memory, attention, and other neuropsychological domains. These assessments help identify specific cognitive strengths and weaknesses that may impact learning and development. 7. Projective techniques. In some cases, educational psychologists may use projective techniques such as the thematic apperception test, TAT, or the draw-a-person test to gather information about students' perceptions, emotions, and internal dynamics. These techniques provide a more indirect and subjective understanding of students' experiences. It's important to note that the specific tools and techniques used may vary depending on the purpose of assessment, the age and developmental level of the student, and the specific concerns being addressed. Educational psychologists often use a combination of these methods to gather a comprehensive understanding of students' abilities, skills, and development.